Welcome everyone, AdamTheWoo here. Look at all those cars going to and fro from their destinations. But normally their destination would be into this turn lane directly where I am standing. But today I am very lucky because I will not be run down by a vehicle in this exact location because it is protected by this very secure caution tape, stopping any vehicle from turning in here and going down this little incline here at the Puente Hills Mall, which for us Back to the Future self-proclaimed aficionados is known as the Twin Pines Mall. Dun, 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 dun. I've done a lot of vlogs here at this filming location mall. And today I'm joined by AdamTheWoo. We are here on this Sunday, October 18th, 2015, standing in the parking lot of the Twin Pines Mall. The parking lot is actually directly that way. And I am about to unveil something that when we pulled in here, we were going to pull directly in here because I always like to drive down the same spots that Marty rolled in on his skateboard or ran in, depending on what time frame of Back to the Future 1 that you watch. But we could not turn in here because it was protected by this, and the reason for that is the Puente Hills Mall in association with the We're Going Back group on Facebook, the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future, and in 3 days is what some people are calling Back to the Future Day, because in part 2, when they went to the future, it was on October 21st, 2015, 3 days from right now, and in celebration of that day, just 3 short days away, they have actually converted the Puente Hills Mall back to its 1985 Back to the Future counterpart, the Twin Pines Mall. Prepare yourself now. You ready?
I'm ready.
For this. The Twin Pines Mall sign. They've actually recreated the Twin Pines Mall sign right there. You do not see that. I have been out here a handful of times, probably at least a baker's dozen times since I have lived here in California. Do I swing by this mall, and this has never existed. Now, I did a vlog a while back, probably about a week or two ago, where they put Doc Brown's van and truck. The truck and van is still down there, and someone actually has a DeLorean down there, which we will actually take a look at very soon. But I wanted to focus on this, the Twin Pines Mall sign at the Twin Pines Mall. That is very rare, and normally there are cars driving down here, but not today. There are no cars going in or out. This whole area is completely secured, and what is even more amazing is the fact that the entire parking lot area that they filmed Back to the Future 1 is also blocked off and secured. So we are going to be able to wander around, which normally you cannot do because there is a 24-hour fitness now. In the movie, it was not 24-hour fitness, but lately, in the future, some would say, there is a 24-hour fitness. So even if you show up here at midnight or 2 or 3 a.m., there's always going to be cars in the parking lot. But today is a historic day. This is a red letter date in the history of science because there is no vehicles in the parking lot except for Doc Brown's and of course the DeLorean there, which is not time machined out, but it's still pretty awesome also. And you can see a lot of people are dressed up as Marty McFly in the old school Marty McFly or the 2015 hoverboard version of Marty McFly. But that's very awesome. So let's go down there to the parking lot and show where some of the spots are. Now, I will be reiterating myself because I have been here a number of times. I came with you and Tyler Evans, rock journalist, and we did a vlog on the 30th anniversary back in July of when Back to the Future was released in the theater. And I brought the little DeLorean, I recreated the scenes, but there were a lot of cars that I had to actually deal with in the parking lot. And I also showed up and I actually showed when they brought Doc's van back here, probably about 2 weeks ago. But today, I had to do another vlog in celebration of what they're actually calling today. The Puente Hills Mall is actually deeming this Back to the Future Appreciation Day. And that is why all these people are out here appreciating what I have appreciated for 30 plus years. Back to the Future Part 1 is my favorite. I do like Back to the Future 2 and 3. And a lot of people will say, oh, well, the mall parking lot was not used in 2015. And that is true, but it is a very good congregational area for us Back to the Future nerds to actually coincide and actually kind of like fraternize and get together and hang out and nerd out together. So let me show you this that you normally do not see. So in this, see where this row of cars is where Marty is actually running from the Libyans. The Libyans are actually chasing him in that same area. And they're turning basically where that car is, and then Marty drives through the parking lot, getting it up to 88 miles per hour, and then zooming to the left of Doc's vehicle, basically where those people are getting their picture taken. If this was 1985 and in Back to the Future, they would be getting run down by Marty and the DeLorean. And then soon past that is when when the flames start and he smashes into the Fox Photo Lab, and then the Libyans crash into there, was just past those little trees and where the parking lot actually now starts. But from here on is all completely cleared out, and of course Doc and Marty would have been standing right here, and Doc said those famous lines. The famous line, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious you-know-what. That was actually basically right here, and they were staring straight ahead, and the DeLorean would have actually been speeding towards us right here at a very rapid pace. So basically, if we come back here, we can actually stand in the same exact spots, not being hindered by any vehicles in the parking lot because there's no cars parked here. But we could actually stand basically right about here is where they were standing. So Doc and Marty would have been standing here. Of course, the DeLorean would have like exploded into time travel mode, and then the DeLorean disappears and flames along the ground, going underneath Marty and Doc's legs, speeding off that way. Right in here, there would be the out-of-time license plate spinning around right in here, and then of course Marty picks it up. Ah, you disintegrated Einstein. Calm down, Marty, I didn't disintegrate anyone. All happened right in here. And then of course he's doing the whole spiel. You telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean? Of course, I built a time machine to do a car. Why not do it some style? Besides, the stainless steel construction made the flux dispersal. It all explodes. And then the DeLorean slides into here. Doc opens up the door. It's very, very cold. All that happened right in here. And it's very awesome that you can actually come out here now. And I'm guessing all throughout the weekend, probably they're going to have this all blocked off for letting people take photos up close with the car itself or recreate the scenes. And I'm thinking maybe at some point, I know there are some events for the We're Going Back Fest, but I think at some point there will be a plethora of DeLoreans all in here. And I'm hoping at nightfall at some point there will actually be a recreation scene of the DeLorean being chased by the Libyans. And of course the Libyans came straight down that little incline over there. There's Marty right there. Marty! Right there. Marty! Good to see you. So this is it. And in the movie, this of course was not a fitness place, but all this can be seen in the background. So pretty awesome. You were here before. It's almost like deja vu.
Yeah.
It's almost like you went back in time because you were here for that 30th anniversary of the celebration of Back to the Future, hitting theaters, and now we are back as well. So check it out. Go watch the vlog I did, a detailed version of Dr. Emmett Brown Enterprises van and what's inside the van. That was probably about, what, 2 weeks ago, give or take? It was probably about you weren't here,
no, so
but I told you about it.
Yeah.
I think it was about, give or take, 2 weeks ago.
I would say.
You could see what's inside the van. Of course, this is where the DeLorean came out of. This is where Doc met his demise. Right here, he would have been standing right here and shot right in this area. And somebody over here has the DeLorean and the Sports Almanac, which is actually right here. Look at this sign. Oh, look, there's a little signature by Christopher Lloyd on there, too. Christopher Lloyd. I wonder if Christopher Lloyd was here today. Actually, Christopher Lloyd might actually be inside, but you can see someone has a DeLorean signed by Chris Lloyd right there. Maybe he's inside. Maybe Chris Lloyd will appear and actually unveil. Maybe he will unveil the time machine that is in the back. I would lose my mind right now if Chris Lloyd came out of the side like this. I would definitely lose my mind. But just to reiterate, let's actually look and see what's inside here. You can see the Burger King bags. You can see the time circuits, the 2 clock watches as well inside there, which is very cool. If you come over here, you might have to stand on your tippy toes, but if you look inside here, you can actually see there is the plutonium box. Can you see the plutonium box?
I can't see it, too short.
Let me pick you up. Can you see the plutonium box?
Yeah.
The plutonium
That's
box,
cool.
and then another plutonium box down there, and a lot of Burger King. And of course the milk bones for Einstein. Einstein, you little devil! So this is awesome. Very cool. Let's get a look at the DeLorean real quick. We'll get a look at the DeLorean as well and check out what is going on over here. A lot of people getting their photos with the DeLorean. Of course, this is not time machined out, but it is cool that an actual DeLorean is in the parking lot of the Twin Pines Mall. Very cool. I did the filming locations of part 1, I did the filming locations of part 2, and I did a video, gosh, about probably 3 years ago, the first time I ever showed up here. Luckily, Justin Scard and I were here in the middle of the night, and there was actually a time machined out DeLorean that a gentleman had brought. Yeah, he was driving around the parking lot, and security stopped him, and I filmed him right in here. Just look up Busted Back to the Future Mall, and you can see that video that I did, and look up the part 1 filming locations and the part 2 filming locations as well, and you can check all that out. So let's just get a moment of quietness now and show you guys the unabashed, untouched Twin Pines Mall parking lot without any vehicles and cars in it. By the way, right there was where the Fox Photo Lab was. If the DeLorean would not have smashed, the DeLorean went back in time and then the Libyans' van smashed into it. It was actually right here. So the DeLorean sped by, disappeared into 1955, and then the Libyans would have came by and crashed directly right here into the Fox Photo Lab. So let's get one last look here at the Twin Pines Mall. Dun, 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 dun. I never thought in my life, first of all, I never thought in my life I would actually live near any of the filming locations from my favorite movie, Back to the Future, but also be able to visit on a very common occurrence occasion the mall from Back to the Future. And never did I actually think that I would actually be able to stand here with no vehicles. I never thought that they would actually have this all blocked off. So this is a historic occasion. I, Dr. Emmett Brown, standing in the parking lot of Twin Pines Mall. That's so cool. I don't even want to talk. Shh. I'm going to be quiet now. Just soak this in. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. All right, I'm being quiet now. Soak in the sights and sounds of the one and only Twin Pines Mall. That is not a DeLorean you heard crank behind me. That is not a DeLorean crank behind me. That's actually a normal vehicle, but I got excited because I heard the car start up, and I thought maybe a DeLorean. Okay, back to the moment of quietness. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. The Twin Pines Mall from 1985's Back to the Future. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I said when I was pulling in, I saw they put the Twin Pines Mall sign there. I actually told you that I was actually starting to shed a little bit of a tear.
Yeah.
I wasn't even kidding when I was saying that. I actually got a little misty-eyed. These eyes started to shed a little bit of tear when I saw that they actually put the Twin Pines Mall sign at the cusp and the threshold of the entrance to the Puente Hills Mall. That's how much I love Back to the Future. A lot of my childhood memories stem from that movie, watching it, having the VHS tape, watching the VHS tape, and knowing every nook and cranny of how the VHS tape would crack and the audio would change at certain parts, which is very interesting because back in the day, pre-DVDs and pre-Blu-rays, you actually would watch a VHS, and when you watched it so much, certain things would happen to the VHS that they would become part of the movie. Like there would be a crimp or an audio deficiency in the videotape, and that would somehow become part of the movie, ingrained in your mind. And one thing I remember back from 1985-86 when I had that first VHS is a scene right here when the DeLorean comes out of Doc's car. Marty McFly and Einstein, the dog, are sitting right here. Marty has the skateboard, kicks the skateboard to the side. You see this view, and then it goes back and you see the DeLorean pulling out of Doc's vehicle, and the shot actually would have been from right over here. And as the DeLorean pulls out, all the smoke and the lights and the ambiance of the nightfall of the Twin Pines Mall. Around that time, the VHS that I owned actually started to like twist and crack. So there was an audio and there was one of those weird lines that went up the screen. So when I watch that now on Blu-ray, and DVD, I always wait for that to happen, and it never actually happens. That is a memory. Does that ever happen to you guys? A memory from my childhood that actually was right here as this gate pulled down and the DeLorean pulled out. So there you go. Remembering the past or the future. This is awesome. You know, another interesting thing too. Here's another interesting fact that I don't think I've ever shared in a vlog. If you look up here on this sign, it says F1. And in the movie, when the DeLorean is parked, it's a very low angle, looking up as the DeLorean starts to spin its wheels and head towards Doc and Marty that are standing right over there. You actually see that F1 sign in the movie down low. The shot would have been kind of down here, but closer up. And the DeLorean was basically parked right over here. And as Doc had the remote control, turning the DeLorean on and spinning it, you could actually see that pole and that F1 sign. So the DeLorean would have been right about here. The shot I'm referring to was down this way. So basically like this. The DeLorean was spinning its wheels, and it took off in rapid speed directly towards Marty and Doc that were standing. Now look at this. See, I'm glad I did not stop the vlog, because this is what it looked like in the movie. Just imagine past your, extended vision, those cars being gone. But this first 150 yards here leading up to those cars is empty, just as it was in the movie. So imagine Marty driving the DeLorean. Let's see if you know what's can do 90 right along here. They turn the corner. As they turn the corner, they take the rocket launcher out, turns the corner right here, and speeds directly that way, going up to 88 miles per hour and going back to the past. Which obviously is very interesting as well. It was the Twin Pines Mall at the beginning of the movie. Then it became the Lone Pines Mall, because when he goes back to Old Man Peabody's property, he knocks down a pine tree, making it Twin Pines to the Lone Pine, which is a little unknown fact that a lot of people know now, but back in the day, it was kind of a weird little unknown Back to the Future fact. Pretty crazy to stand here all this time, 30 years later. Things have certainly changed around here. I remember, this is all farmland, as far as the eye could see. Oh man, Pete, everybody always says I sound like Seinfeld. Everybody says I sound like Seinfeld when I do Doc Brown. Oh man, Peabody! Oh man, Peabody! Hold on a minute! That's this crazy idea about breeding pine trees! Who are these people? Who? I think I do kind of sound like Seinfeld when I do Doc Brown, especially when I get like super excited. Marty, who do you think? The Lumians all roll their fire. Pretty awesome. All right, I was going to do a very short vlog. We are 18 minutes into this. So much for the short vlog. Wait a second, we cannot end this. What? Because I see an appearance happening right now. Oh my gosh. There is a special guest that's going to end this vlog. Wow, I never thought that they would actually be here in person. I never thought they would actually be here in the flesh, next to this DeLorean, next to the van. You guys should be very excited about this, because they're actually here in the flesh. That's right. Say hello now. It's Doc and Marty. Marty! Doc! If you're going to build a time machine, why not do it with some style? Besides, the stainless steel construction made the flux dispersal. Oh, you even have like the legit. Look at this. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Thanks. The best outfits here. And you're wearing the Cubbies. Go. I wish I could go back to the beginning of the season. Put some money on the Cubbies.
Put some money on the Cubbies. Yeah. 100 to 1 shot.
Awesome. Thanks. All right. See you guys. That was cool. Who knew? Who knew that we would meet Doc and Marty here in the parking lot of the Twin Pines Mall? All right. I'll see you guys later. Say goodbye. Goodbye.